I'm now going to show you how to do a scissor cut whilst putting in the sweepback layers. The principle of how you do the sweepback is ensuring that the side panels can sit on top of the back panel, nice and smooth. You're layering in the haircut. First things first, you just want to wet your client down, making sure that the hair is evenly wet everywhere. When the hair is wet, you can influence the direction of how the hair is going to go and how you can cut the hair as well. For the layers to sit on top, as you can see, the layers are too long at the moment and it meets in the middle like a duck's tail, which is what we want to avoid. The problem area is through here. We've identified that the middle section of the back is way too long, so we're going to have to take off a nice amount of weight and length. So what we're going to do is comb the side panels out of the way. This middle panel here, problem area, we need to take off a lot of weight and a lot of length through here so that there's going to be less resistance when we put the side panels back and we put the hair into the sweepback style. If your client hasn't had a haircut for a while and he wants a sweepback, you want to have the side panels sectioned out of the way so that you can focus on the middle panel and take the necessary weight out. What we're going to do is ask your client to sit back with their shoulders up and put their head forward, and then what we're going to do is literally pinch right in the middle. This is going to be your guide, so we know what needs to come off. That's how much we're taking off, and then literally just work up 1, 2, 3, 4. As you get to your knuckle, in between your fingers, there's not as much tension there. So we really want to be accurate with what we're cutting. And then that hair will be a lot shorter so that the side panels can sit on top. This is our second section in the same height. You can see where the guide is. Pick up the hair with the small piece of the comb. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll comb the hair down and we're moving slightly to the left, small pinch, and then you can see where the guide is, okay? Right, so we've worked our way to the left. Now we're going to the right. We're moving along to the right hand side in the same height. Now we're going to go slightly higher and work our way from the middle to the left and then to the right. The style that we're trying to achieve is a sweepback, so we're just checking through the style, over-directing the hair into position just to see how we're sitting in, and it's definitely getting there. The side panels now can sit on top of the middle panel with less resistance. However, now we're just trying to figure out what needs to happen next. We just have to move from the middle panel slightly wider onto the outer edge of the back panels now. You're going to be wondering how to connect the side panels into the middle panel at the back, and I'm going to show you how. You have to do a section from the hairline, the corner of the hairline, into the crown, and then with your comb the hair down. So your side panel now should be looking like this. The guide is here, so now we need to match in the length from the side panel into the crown area. So we've done the V section from the corner of the hairline into the crown, and just push the hair away from where you're working, and then it's out of the way. Now you can focus on connecting the side panel to the back panel. So as you can see, our guide is right here in the middle panel. Okay, that's where our guide is. Our guide's there, and you can see the difference of what needs to come off. So before we get into it, if you just focus on the objective of having the sweepback, the side panel sit on top of the middle, that's what we're trying to achieve. So it does have to be it has to be a little bit longer on the side here, but there's too much of a difference at the moment. So now I'm going to show you exactly how to connect it. Okay, we're just pinching a section each time and working to the right hand side. 1, 2. Cool. Right, that's our guide. What I need you to focus on is the hair under tension and the angle of how the hair is sitting. So it's 90 degrees away from the head and the hair is under tension, and my knuckles are pointing away from me on the right hand side with my hand facing down, and That's how we pull out the guide. That's really important that you understand the angles of which we're cutting. So now we're going to be cutting into the side panel and working our way around. We're picking up the hair with our comb, using the thin side of our comb as well. Now we're just working our way around towards the hairline from the back of the crown, using our guide. Don't forget, the side panel has to be longer than the middle panel for it to sit on top of it without any resistance. Right, so now you can see, yet again, because I made quite a lot of progress there, I'm checking how the sweepback sits before you get carried away, especially when you're new to cutting hair and new to a certain style. Just keep on checking if you're on track to achieving the style that you're going for. So as you can see, we've just come through this panel here, but now the back panel is too long. So you have to work from the top of the side panel and work our way down and work our way down like so. We're going to be doing 6 sections down. We've done 1, we've got our guide, and now I'm going to show you how to cut the rest of the panels so that it can sit nice and flush in position. Throughout the process, keep on wetting the hair down. When my client, my doll's head, has got light brown hair, but we need it to be dark brown to ensure that it's nice and wet, so that we can keep on over directing the hair. We can influence the hair as much as possible. Use your comb to scoop the hair out. Ensure you got the length, and then go into the angle. And just follow your guide. Same thing, pick up the hair and get into the angle. Lovely. And then move along to the right each time. Pick up the hair, ensure you got the length, direct it to the right, use your guide, and work your way along. So now you just want to check that the top layers are sitting in position. Now that is sweeping lovely. Look at that. As you can see, we've cut the top 2 sections here. Now this is too long, so we now just need to match it in by working our way down through our verticals. With your comb, direct the hair into position. Our guide is there. Same thing. The hair at the top you can just comb out of the way, as we've already cut those 2 sections, and now we're just repeating the process. We're pinching with the thin side of the comb and working our way along. But you can see how small and detailed our sections are, and that's where the movement comes from. So when you style it in right at the end and you put product in the hair and you work your sweepback comb through the layers, and you can see every single layer. This is the foundations and the work that goes into the haircut behind the style. The side panel sitting in lovely. We took out loads of weight and loads of length from the back panel. The side panel is sitting round and it's in style. I'm now going to show you how to connect the bottom layer of the side panel and the back panel to give the back more of a tapered finish, as it doesn't need to be this long. The spine of the comb is facing away from you on the right hand side. The teeth are facing inwards, and all we're doing is combing all the hair back like so, separating, using your left hand to separate where the tension is, combing the hair down, and this is how we're going to determine the new length at the base. How I'd match in the lower layer at the base of the ear to the hairline is with a section at this angle, coming back, comb the hair down and match it in like so. You just want to direct it in, and this is where your guide is. So now we're starting to direct the hair backwards, okay? The doll's hair hasn't got much movement in it. It's very, very straight. But you can see that this would sit behind the ear if it was natural human hair. Layers are lovely. So you've got 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 4, 5, 6. We've matched in the bottom corner. Now we're going to work our way along towards the middle. So now we're happy with the right side. We're gonna do a middle parting at the back. Comb the hair out of the way. Just wedge your comb in there, get the teeth in there, and then move it to the right. Direct the hair all the way to the right, like so. And then we can just focus on matching in the left-hand side from the middle. So now, I just want to visually show you the work and the layers that we cut earlier on the right-hand side compared to the left. There's a big difference here. Just to show you the area we're going to be working on, comb the hair out of the way, and you can just focus on one area at a time. Right, so now we're going to be working along, we're just going to be pinching here, like so, and moving to the left, as we did on the right hand side, but now we're just repeating the process on the left hand side. So we pinch the hair, we're using a thin side of the comb, and yet again you need to focus on the 90-degree angle and how I'm directing it away from the head to ensure that the hair is going to sit down nicely. And you can see the guide there, and just work your way along. See your guide. Just focus on where we're pinching. We've literally come through and pinched all along here, all right? So pinch, scoop out with the hair, follow your guide. Now we go back to the middle, just work slightly lower. So yet again, we want to check how the layers are sitting in. Are they sweeping around? Yes. As you can see, the layers are in lovely. Now all we need to cut in is the base layer. Direct it diagonal from the temple. We're going to redo that section and then look at, yet again, the angle of how I position the comb to direct it to where it is now. And then bring your hair down and then cut off the length that we just decided we was going to take off. Then just work your way along. So now that we've got our guide, as you can see it's right there, match it in towards the back, just keeping it in its natural position, okay? You can start to see the base layer a certain length and the base layer at the back a certain length. So now all we need to do is match in these sections here. So we've got our guide right there. Comb all of this hair out of the way. So you could just focus on the area that needs matching in. So there's our guide. Figure out our guide here as well. So anything that doesn't need to be cut, we can move out of the way. So now all we need to do is match in from the bottom here. Okay, so now we're going to come across the bottom with a nice straight line, as we did at the start of our scissor cut. Comb the hair down, and we could literally point cut this in. So how you want to point cut is, you just want to move your thumb when point cutting. Alright, so your hand stays in position. Move the blade along whilst cutting the hair in the direction that you please. With a point cut, matching in the shape at the bottom. And then that matches into the middle and matches into the corner. When the hair is dry right at the end, for the finishing touches, we can redo this. I just want you to understand the principle of how you match in the base layer. Repeat the same process over and over for the second time. Then you can see your guide. Comb the hair into position and point cut the excess hair, dropping down for the third time. Now we want to sweep the hair around, like so. The hair's so straight, but on human hair this will easily sweep round, and you can see the layers sitting in lovely. Now I'm just picking up the hair and just checking that the style is sitting correctly. So just look at exactly where I'm pinching to make sure everything is nice and smooth. For the sweep back, you really need to be looking at the angles of how I'm cutting the hair. Alright, so now I want you to do a V section like so, from the corners of the hairline into the crown area, right? Same principle, so literally have your fingers ready on the comb, bang. Comb all the hair that you're not holding down with your left hand away from you. And this is how we're gonna work our way into the top. Now we're doing a V section from the corner of the hairline into, okay, like so. So hold down the hair with your left hand, comb it all the way over. So from the corner and direct it to where you want to go, okay, like so. Comb the hair all the way down, and now you've got your V section. So just get your comb and work the tension towards your left hand. Push the hair out of the way, spin it. I spin the hair anti-clockwise, okay, so it's nice and neat out of the way, and then you could just focus on matching in the top. Always just check how the layers are sitting in for the sweep back. As you can see, the top needs to be cut in because it's yet again meeting like a duck's tail in the middle. We're going to repeat the process just how we did earlier. We're going to focus on the middle panel, so pinch from the middle on the crown area, and you can see the disconnection right there. The top does have to be longer, but just not this long, that's all. Think about the distance of how the hair is going to be sitting, so it does have to be longer. So pick the hair up. The straighter it is, the longer it's going to be. When you bring it out to the side, if you go like that, it's going to be short. So you see the guide there. The reason why we've sectioned the hair out of the way is so that ensure that we're not going to take the fringe too short, because once you make that mistake, that's it. The client in front of you is never going to come back to you, and that's the worst possible outcome. Right, so as you know, we need to comb the hair down in the middle. That's your centre back. Then you want to get your comb, over direct the hair, and check if the layers sit on top of the sweep, and that is looking good. Now it's time to match in the right side. You just want to make sure that the length is looking good. Okay, so the right side is slightly longer at the top, no problem. So we've got our guide from the middle, so we're pinching on the curve of the head. This is how you determine where the curve is. So you get your comb, let the comb do the work from that point there, all right? So literally we're pinching and we're just following the same amount of layers. We're pinching on the curve of the head and working our way around. Now that we've completed the right side, comb it all the way down and just check how the layers sit on top. To me, the right side seems a tiny bit longer in and around this section here. It's that panel there, so you just want to pick it up. Just take the ends off and then go back to the style and double check it. Sitting in lovely now. Yeah, more symmetrical, lovely. We're now going to be connecting the top. So take your hair out of the clips, wet the hair down before you cut it. Do a middle parting, and the fringe can be longer than the rest, okay? No problem. You want it to be a little bit longer. That ensures that the hair is going to sit in nicely. Just do a middle section. It's really good to check what size longer before you cut it down. They're pretty even right now, but we need to match it in. So I'm going to show you how to match it in. So literally pinch from just behind the fringe. You can see your guide there. So if you want the hair at 180 degrees right now, and just match it in to the sides. Comb down, pinch, and work your way back. And then the crown area we cut earlier, so this is just another form of cross-checking really. You can see there, this is the very start, this is the fringe. We're matching it in. We cut this earlier, so we're just literally cross-checking the top now. And yeah, that matches in lovely. Yeah, 180 degrees up, then match into your guide. Middle parting, over to the right-hand side, over to the left. You've got your guide from the front, double check that. And match it in. And then just come back 6 times. That's all matched in from before. Then just check this section as well. Just see what needs to be cut there. Just out of routine, we're going to check through the layers. We're just going to cross-check everything back. And straight away, you could see something there straight away. The more you cross-check the hair and make sure that the angles are correct and everything's sitting nice, the better the finished product will be. There's no shortcuts at it, guys. If you really want a nice finished product, it's all about the details. When you cut corners, you're just going to be like, every other barber out there. These are the final checks while the hair is wet. Once you're happy, then you can move on. Now I'm gonna show you how to style in a sweepback. If you want a wet look, literally, get your cream, get your pomade, put it in your hand, like a nice amount, work it all the way through, comb it through with some hairspray. If you want the dry look, you get your sea salt spray, put 5 sprays in, yeah? I'm not gonna do it because if we put product on the doll's head and I have to carry on cutting, it's gonna damage my scissors. I'm now holding the hairdryer in my right hand and I'm directing the hair into the style that I'm going for. Now to help with this process, I'm holding the brush in my left hand to get the hair in its final position for the sweepback. These layers are sitting in nice, but as you can see, where their doll's heads there so straight, you could see little weight marks here. And all that is just pinching that piece of hair. Like here, for example, where my thumb is, right? You want to get the hair and just literally take the weight out. It's just good practice. I'll show you why. At the front of the doll's head, they put in so many little follicles to give the doll's head a strong hairline. So yeah, that's all it is. But it's good practice because if someone does have really, really thick hair, they've got a lot of weight, this is how you would work your way through it. I'm now going to show you how to style in the doll's head with products. This is for training purposes only. I don't need to use the doll's head again, however, you will. Right, sprinkle it in, comb it all through, get a bit of hairspray from a distance. If you make the mistake of spraying it too close, it's going to start dripping, it's going to stick to the scalp, it's not going to look right, it won't look nice. You just spray it from a distance, cover your client's eyes like so, cover their eyes and their forehead, get your sweepback comb and you want to sweep it round. As you can see, finally, it's now holding position. A little bit of spray. Literally, this is exactly how I would style in a scissor cut sweepback. Bring your layers round here, bring your layers round there, so then just pat down the layers and then just fan out underneath. I haven't used clippers once on this haircut, but right at the bottom here, now that it's dry, we could just go along and point cut in just to give the base layer a bit more of a presence. Come along here. Now we're just doing things by eye, to be fair. All these little details are the difference in charging £15–20 a haircut or charging way more. So today we've covered the scissor cut sweepback, how to layer it in, how to get the shape, how to get the nice movement, how to get the sweepback style, which is going crazy at the moment. It's going to take a lot of focus, but it's going to be worth it because if you are one of the barbers that can do the sweepbacks, you're going to clean up. The demand is outweighing the supply right now. So be ahead of the curve, invest in yourself, learn what you need to learn, build your value, and then your income will also go up as a byproduct of your skill. Thanks for watching and keep an eye out for more modules on the way.